ahead in team fights, it will do great things. It hasn't happened in the couple of times, but maybe they just feel like they didn't really beat us with anything else. Why even risk the Rumble getting ahead and making our lives hell in team fights?
Yeah, maybe LGD decide that they want to build a comp that's actually going to work with the Rumble a little bit better this time. But LGD using their brains this time as well in the champion select portion of the game, as the Misfortune is going to hit the bench.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness indeed. Another couple of picks that still stand out, though, of course. Trundle is a big deal at the moment. Graves, pretty massive. Haven't seen ZZR on the champion yet. Of course, Amy tried his hand. We haven't seen it so far this series. Lulu is going to be removed. Snake not wanting to first pick that one. And LGD now have an opportunity. Rise is something that's really standing out. And of course, Flandre can play that. I have no doubt that Tank can as well. They can flex that across if they'd like to. But LGD, what do? Do they get rid of the Rise here? They do. So, of course, Trundle is going to be there. Alistair, of course, another first pick that they can grab. But Lysandra, the flex pick, they waste no time and pick it up straight away.
So not surprised to see Lysandra go first pick. Honestly, as far as engage goes, when you're using these junglers like a Grave, something like a Kindred, you need engage in a different area that isn't your jungler. So Lysandra just brings that from a really unique position, being in the mid lane. So like the pick up here, and Tank played it very well. He's against Wayless, who's a very good laner in his own right. So give him something he's comfortable on. Make sure he can go back to that.
Yeah, that's very true. And he stayed up. I mean, they both had 10 CS over the 20-minute mark. So sitting at 210 apiece. So both of the mid laners were definitely playing well. A lot of communication going on, but it is going to be the Alistair and the Tristana locked in here for LGD. With ZZR, he can comfortably go towards the Rek'Sai if he wants to. Of course, played pretty decent Elise last time. Going to take that one away from Amy by the looks of things. And Ezreal, consideration for Martin or for Tank. They want to play that one. Trundle has gone relatively unseen, which I find really interesting, but I guess they feel with an Alistair sitting there, they don't need to worry about it too much. Whalers considering the Corki mid. Assuming it's not going to be a Tristana mid. Haven't seen that one for quite some time. But of course, Faker making the Corki mid definitely look incredibly strong. Cassiopeia another option if he wants a more short range burst mage.
This was one of the bans last time around.
Mage.
I believe Lee Sin was banned by LGD. So, looking to pick it up potentially this time for Amy.
A Lee Sin Rek'Sai matchup. Seen that one before quite a few times. But with an Alistair there, I mean, they do have a heck of a lot of dive potential if you involve the Lee Sin in it as well.
Heck of a lot of knockups. Let's just start there.
Wayless. Just grab someone a Yasuo, please. They have displacement everywhere.
Wow. Blinds a Cassiopeia. That's brave, is one way to put it.
Does MaRin play Cassiopeia?
I don't think anyone plays top Cassiopeia.
It's happened before.
Do not say Honey.
But Poppy has been left available. Flandre can pick that one up if he wants to. Ella says, well, all right. I'll grab a last round Trundle pickup.
You don't even know what direction they're going in yet, depending on what the top laner is.
Yeah, true. Man, they could put anything anywhere right now. Rek'Sai top, Poppy jungle, Trundle jungle, Poppy support. Oh man, anything could go anywhere right now.
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah. 80 carry Lysandra. We could have an Ezreal mid. Who knows? All sorts of things could happen. I don't think the 80 carry Lysandra will be a good idea.
I don't think anything other than Rek'Sai being a jungle is a good idea either. Why let good ideas stop you, Atlas?
Just mixing it up for mixing it up's sake. That's what you got to do. But Poppy and Trundle are going to be locked in. Yet to find out exactly where they are. I have a feeling, you know, the Ezreal will probably be the AD carry. I'll definitely say that much. I think the Rek'Sai will be in the jungle as well. That's the only concedes I'm going to make. LGD, now to figure out exactly what's going to happen. Looks like a top laner possibly will be the one picked up here. As a Lowy. Haven't seen her at all thus far in the LPL.
There's a reason for that. If you're a top laner that does not bring any CC into a team comp, you should not be played in professional League of Legends.
Yeah, look, that's true. She brings a lot of tentacles, though. And that's got to be good. Right, she just does a heck of a lot of damage, man. She like builds one item and then just full tank, and she just does all of this damage out of nowhere.
Oh, the top lane Alistair being considered right now for MaRin.
No, well, it could be an homage to Flandre as well with the top lane Morgana.
That is a Morgana locked in. I was joking. What the heck?
So, okay, Whaleless Morgana in the mid lane, and we're going to have a Cassiopeia top.
Nah, my theory is everyone is staying the same right now. That is a top lane Alistair.
No! Is it? We've still got time on the clock. Spawn, you still could have it. I wanted it to go the other way around. I wanted Whaleless on the Morgana. I wanted the Cassiopeia top. I needed it. But no, doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
So it turns out when you win a world championship and come over to China and you're a top laner, you have to pick the worst counter matchups in the history of League of Legends.
It's
Lupa
like
would not let go of Addy versus Nah for like 5 matches.
It's always mages as well.
And now we see the Morgana into Poppy matchup.
Well, take us through how that one works, Spawn.
We'll
go we'll go through it another time. Of course, Rek'Sai versus Lee Sin, that's a little bit more standard. Short-range mages, a little bit more mobility on the side of Lissandra, though, in the mid lane there in comparison to the Cassiopeia. But
anything that Morgana does in this matchup, Yorick would have done better.
That is fantastic.
You know, Black Shield on Whalers, just Yorick ult her.
Yeah,
Black Shield on him, just Yorick ult him. I honestly do not understand the Morgana in this team composition.
When you should have just played Yorick, Spawn. That's when you know something has gone wrong, I think. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get on to the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for Snake versus LGD. Game number 2. LGD need to pick this one up to escape losing this series in a 2-0 fashion from Snake after a dominating game number 1.
Oh, it's for the level 1 invade. I have figured out what Morgana does better than Yorick.
There's a lot of pings. As that ward had already gone down, ZZR going to escape. So the level 1, not going to be all that successful. Snake going to grab some vision around the other side of the map.
Flandre invented Morgana top.
He did.
He said he played it. His reasoning for playing it is the only reason to play Morgana.
What's that?
He said, because after I'm level 9, I no longer have to CS. That was his honest reason for playing it.
Because you just put down a puddle and walk away?
Because I can put down a puddle and leave.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's how I learned how to play League of Legends. It was the only champion I knew how to play because that's that exact reason. I couldn't farm.
Doesn't matter about your items. You can lane swap. Once you hit level 9.
Doesn't matter about your ability to last hit.
No longer have to last hit.
It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I assume the last hitting portion is not what MaRin's worried about. Nor Flandre, for that matter. As Martin and Elle are going to start on this Gromp. Another lane swap is going to happen. As far as a champion that can deal with a lane swap, I put it to Morgana to be able to survive that one.
Yeah, she's impossible to gank.
Yeah. Double Gromp start. Both of these 80 carries. And it looks like once again the lane swap's going to ensue. So we'll see whether LGD, after the last little amount of time, figured out what to do. Whaleless. Yeah, there it is. Lands the poison that time. Level 1.
Oh,
danger.
Dodges. Oh,
yeah, that's scary.
Nah. And is that still... Wow.
Did you think that that one hit?
No, I thought that he would actually go for the Deathfire Touch.
Oh.
Keystone Mastery. But
no, Thunderlord's always the best.
Thunderlords came off.
Every single time. But Imp, once again, just holding onto this wave, not shoving it too hard, of course.
This time around, Amy stays on the top side of the map. And they just make a beeline to make sure that this dive doesn't go down. So this is what LGD used to do. 3 versus 4 means that you cannot dive. You can continue to push in, pressure as much as possible, but hopefully with the Morgana you have enough wave clear.
Yep, puts another puddle down. PYL though, underneath the turret, level 1. Flandre here, ZZR here as well.
So as you can see, there's nothing they can do. So LGD, Crisis Averted, will not make the same mistake as level 1. Flandre has to teleport bottom lane to grab this big creep score, and the lane will normalize in a regular lane swap that we would have seen maybe a year ago.
Well, Rusty the Undying going to come down. Imp's going to stomp on the shield.
Wow, and see, that's the one champion I think Thunderlords is like a must. It's like 90% of your damage late game.
On who?
Poppy.
Oh, and he didn't pick it up? Oh, no.
He went grass.
Yeah.
You just saved.
I did just save, yeah. But Flandre is going to be okay here, of course. To get him a little bit more tankiness. Wayless and Tank still having some fun here in the mid lane. Slight advantage for Wayless, but nothing to write home about.
MaRin actually going back to base. Maybe they'll swap back here. Turns out they don't want that lane swap. So LGD, I'm going to say, first time in 4 games, won an early game.
Well, at least by the 4-minute mark.
Very early game.
Yeah, nicely done.
Actually, he just goes back and grabs a tier. Wayless, oh, he's in trouble.
Yeah, there's
right,
the
early game gone.
Yeah, Circle of Frost. There's the flash into the knock-up. Wayless, no ultimate to speak of here at level 4. He's going to go down. First Blood goes over to Tank. Things looking great for the Lissandra, but once again, the back foot is where LGD find themselves.
When in doubt, gank Wayless, that's exactly what they do. Was not playing towards the bottom side of the map. That's where his Lee Sin was. In fact, Amy was taking a little bit longer to jungle. Once again, LGD, all behind. When it was looking so promising.
It was.
26 CS to 9 was the top laners. They'd set themselves up for such good success. And this is the difference between the LGD that won the LPL and the LGD now. Wayless would have never died last split in that situation. This time around was playing up, almost Dade-esque, you have to say.
Yeah.
And gets picked on.
Well, Imp still able to get a lot of damage onto this turret. You can see waiting in the wings is PYL. He's going to move up now. Flandre doing his best to farm what he can. He's going to go down for no reason at all as PYL's just wandering towards the turret. This is something that Flandre is very used to. As far as a low econ top laner is concerned, Flandre definitely able to do so. But MaRin no slouch either, as you mentioned earlier on. Not finding use from range.
MaRin's not even low econ right now. He has more CS than his mid laner.
Yeah, that's true.
Aiming with his Q. ZZR doesn't whiff his.
Nailed it. Jungle battle over. ZZR wins.
Level 5 on both Tank and Wayless. You have to think Tank gets level 6 first. Wayless actually doesn't go with the cleanse this time around. Goes with a kill summoner in the ignite.
So clear out that wave quite nicely, but 44 to 36. Tank utilizing the extra kill. Able to get himself there. Going towards the Abyssal Scepter as the first item here as the pillar comes down. MaRin having to deal with that. Not going to be too worried at all. He's got a puddle there.
Now look at this. CSing made easy with Morgana.
Oh, it's beautiful, right? Wonderful. Essence Flux not going to do much. You do need to land those Qs.
And 3 members heading top. BYL's back going to get stopped. Amy's on the wrong side of the map. MaRin not level 6. They need to go before he gets level 6. They're going with everyone.
Yeah, Tank's coming in as well. That Black Shield not going to mean anything if it's
level
just
6
eaten
range.
away. Tank going to make his way in. He could even ult himself if he wants to. Doesn't even matter as Martin's going to lock down that one. And man, was MaRin even there? So much damage.
Yeah, and in the end, it was Martin picking up the kill as well. So Ezreal getting a nice buffer here. And, oh, LGD, just a couple of little mistakes. You could see that PYL, he saw it coming.
Yeah.
He wanted to recall, get back up there, but the back was stopped. Amy, once again, wrong side of the map. Credit him for staying top side in the lane swap. This time wanted to challenge the wreck side on the bottom side of the map. It's just the little things, Atlas. The little things in League of Legends are not going right now for LGD.
It certainly isn't, and everything's going right for Tank as well. I mean, 1-0-1 now for this Lissandra. Picked up the, of course, first blood there in the mid lane against Wayless, and then utilizes his teleport perfectly, grabs himself another assist.
But they're taking calculated risks. They use double flash, exhaust to take Wayless off. That's a big investment, 3 summoner spells, but they get the kill. In response, you know, it looks like everything's calmed down. Then they burn a teleport, ultimate, and another flash on the top side of the map to take out MaRin. But once again, there's no response. There is no counterplay to that because Cassiopeia is already scared of dying, so she's being pushed in pretty hard. Bottom lane, they're not taking the turret quick enough because they're only sending 2 members down there because they value farm over structures on Imp. So right now, Snake are just making all the right moves. They're aggressive and maybe they're even a tiny bit of an overreach, but LGD aren't willing to make the counterplay.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, is that if they're making an overreach, that means that they're at least making proactive plays. And this is something that we were talking about M3, that we're now talking about LGD. It's the fact that you have to play to win the game. You can't play to not lose the game. And LGD at the moment, they just look like they're not putting anything in order to try and actively win themselves the game. They're just playing against Snake's playstyle, which is just winning right now.
Yeah, exactly right. And, the more power you give into a Snake team fight, the better off they're going to become. And, a lot of that team comp just revolves around 4 members grouping up and doing whatever the heck they want, and Flandre being able to just control the pace of the other lane. And right now, he was falling behind. He was probably going to always have an okay time against a Morgana anyway because he's a poppy. Now he's caught back up because Morgana's dead. They're going to take a turret on the top side of the map with 4 members. And Flandre, he's just soaking experience down bottom. We said he's a good low econ top laner. He's going to be completely fine.
Yeah, he's just going to dive on top of the AD carry as well whenever he feels like it. The heroic charge is going to always be there for Poppy, and she doesn't necessarily need all that much money because she generally builds like 1 damage item, maybe, and then grabs a heck of a lot of tank items from that point on. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is a shorter pause this time around. We are going to be back into the game as soon as we possibly can, and we'll see you in there very, very soon. So don't you worry about it too much. And LGD versus Snake will be ensuing one more time. But I just really hope that LGD managed to get their stuff together. Stop laughing at me.
I really hope someone recorded that explanation of where we're going and when we're getting there, because that was brilliant.
We're getting there now. We're getting there now. It's fine. You use the word "arove" that I don't even know whether it exists, but I like it. Always have. It's provocative. Imp jumps himself onto a traffic cone. Has to be very careful because obviously something's gone wrong. Ward goes down. LGD are able to at least stop that push on the top side of the map. And denying the global gold to the Poppy is a very good idea at this stage.
Certainly is. That's a really good lane swap actually coming out of LGD right now. They got the bottom turret in all of that, so they still keep a slight gold lead. Now they have pressure on the blue buff. Oh, the PYL naps.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Grabs it with the headbutt.
That's a Black Alistair, ladies and gentlemen, strolling across the rift majestically with his very own blue buff.
No, that's just what happens when you have a skin that coveted. You can just steal blue buffs with the headbutt. It does more damage than Smite.
Oh, Amy.
Oh, forced to use the flash to get out. Heroic charge comes in. Nice headbutt save there from PYL. Amy, despite having to use the summoner spell, is going to be okay. Imp, in the meantime...
And goes back into the jungle.
Whatever.
Amy, please, let your AD carry take the top lane turret.
Well, he wanted to be there anyway, didn't he? So, protecting Imp. As another turret falls down, Tank, you can see, just farming up here in the mid lane, because Wayless, due to the fact that Tank was outside of his lane, has caught up quite a lot, making his way back towards the mid lane one more time. Only a couple of Doran's rings worth of damage stats, but now stacking up that tier, has those swiftness boots for even more mobility.
You can see MaRin, even more attention. He uses a Q again.
Oh dear, traffic cone goes down.
Second
Has to be
teleport
very
this time.
careful. Flandre's going to make his way in. He's looking for it. Nice black shield is going to stop that, but the knock-up comes
They
in.
balance the aggro so well. Zizia falls.
He's going to die. MaRin picks up the kill. MaRin's still not dead
Wow.
yet. There's the ultimate out of Wayless. Ella's going to fall down. Is that all they're going to get, though? Already a double kill. The ultimate's in from Tank. Can they turn this one around? No. Snake Flandre's going to flash over the wall, but Tank is so dead, and Wayless gets all the revenge he needs. In fact, Imp's able to pick up that kill, and they're going to transition to a dragon. LGD, where have you been?
And this time they collapse in the nick of time. MaRin outplays everyone. I said that they balanced turret aggro well, and they had, but MaRin moved back up towards the 2 members. That's so greedy to do in a turret dive. Meant that everyone else arrived in just the nick of time. They grabbed themselves a dragon, and this is the first time we've seen LGD ahead.
Yep, they're making it actually work for themselves as well, and Wayless feeling good, but here's the replay.
Yeah, so anyone else would have walked down towards the bottom. Instead, MaRin flashed up, and ZZR realized that the reinforcements were on the way. Great ultimate there out of Wayless to stop everyone in their track. Flandre burns the summoner spell to get over the wall. The Tank's left to his own demise. Imp actually picks this one up. The Tristana and the Cassiopeia now rolling, and that's all off the back of MaRin's brilliant 4v1 outplay.
Yeah, really, really nicely played. Martin even going to get snagged by a Dark Binding there as well, as MaRin's just going to deal with this minion wave underneath the turret. Puddle going to go down, walk away. Exactly what you said. Tank now looking to try and go up against Wayless, but this is a Cassiopeia with 2 kills on his belt.
Looks like he's going for the double stacking item as well. Maybe an Abyssal, but would like to see him go for the roller.
Now has a blue buff as well, so that tier going to be stacked very, very quickly. Imp is still in the top lane as MaRin. He's going to head back. Go back towards the bottom side. You see Snake, there's just so much standing gold left on the map. There's no turrets had been taken. And you're right, the early game, well and truly won by LGD, especially as far as the structures are concerned, utilizing the Tristana pushing power.
Called it really early. Maybe too early, some would say.
You certainly did.
But
you got it right, though. That's the thing.
Correct, Amunda.
Crossqueen's claim, though, completed by MaRin. We'll be able to scout out, see whether there are going to be 4 more people diving him on the bottom side. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're not going to try that again, though.
Oh, they might give it one more crack. Still hasn't got his Zonya's Hourglass. But he still is up about 34 CS.
Yeah, things looking good for MaRin.
Only going to be more as well. I like watching both MaRin and Flandre push waves. Sounds like a really weird thing to enjoy, right? But they always get it past mid lane, which means the wave naturally pushes back. And every single time you have to make the choice. Do I hard shove this or do I slow shove this? And you can see that this time around, MaRin drops a pull on it, so that's going to be a hard push. But every now and again, they'll just trim the cannon creeps from the wave, the range creeps. Ooh, Ella caught.
Yeah, might be caught out. Amy finds his way in there as well. Subjugate is down, but Ella is so dead. MaRin locks down the kill, and ZZR just still taking his Raptors, or at least trying to. Amy steals them away. This is all going wrong for Snake.
Yeah, it certainly is. MaRin didn't even burn ultimate, so they have to be worried about the dive now that can come out of Morgana. And you can see actually just heading back towards top lane. Imp's going to try and shove down the turret.
Top. This is ridiculous. Look at all that vision for Snake on the top side of the map.
Yeah, when you're that far overextended as Flandre, probably need it down there. And the collapse coming out for Martin now. Oh, do they know where he is? This is the test. Process of elimination, they have no idea.
Yep, it's a very cute little backing spot, so Martin is going to survive this time. Imp, though, going to continue to farm. Martin doesn't really build anything of note just yet. Manamune and, of course, the Iceborne Gauntlet are what he wants, but hasn't quite got to either item yet. Of course, Ezreal tends to come online after that stage. The extra 20% CDR is just fantastic from that Iceborne Gauntlet.
Wayless is starting to hit really hard, level 10. So he's starting to now stack up the Q as well as having all the points in the E available. Imp level 9, wow. This always amazes me when LGD does this. They sacrifice so much of PYL's levels to make sure that their AD carry is ahead in experience. And Tristana, that's why I always loved Imp on Trist, just because not only does he get the extra points in Q, but the draw a bead passive is so important. So this is the one champion that I actually agree them doing it on.
Well, Amy and Flandre are fighting. It just smacks him out of there. MaRin's not going to be in this one as the Black Shield was on Amy. ZZR finds his way in, is going to be able to knock up MaRin, but Wayless is here. The ultimate's down, so much AoE damage. That is ludicrous. Amy's even survived as the Subjugate has come through. LGD, they grab a pick and Snake are just forced to run.
And that's another teleport burnt for Tank for no avail. Game 1, all of his teleports were coming up gold. This time around, not working out. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Imp is still farming. And he's the one person that agrees with less than 80 carries. That Infinity Edge Rush is a bad idea, and that you should go for your Sheen item, Zeal item first.
Yeah, we've seen this before, actually, going for just the BF sword to get a bit of AD there, and then going for the attack speed item as PYL trying to deal with Tank. Just going to get out of there with the Claw of Doom. But this is an LGD in control and starting to strangle Snake.
That certainly looks to be the case, and Martin trying to shove the waves back because he understands that Tristana can do so much work.
Doing what they can. Of course, full vision now available to Martin.
Imp standing on a ward, he must know now.
Yeah, it does now.
Oh, it's so fun watching Tristana slow down. It looks like she's dragging that big cannon.
Or dragging the big dragon. Whoa, that was awkward. Forgot that dragon and dragon actually sound very much the same.
also completely wrong Cien, but
Yeah, well, you know, it could be a dragon. So. Just wanted to have him a spiel spawn. Let it happen. MaRin, though, going to be able to clear out this minion wave very, very simply. Flandre knows exactly what's going on here. So he's going to do his very best to get up to his poppy ways.
3-2-3. Finally, MaRin having a good game on his new team. Very vocal that his move was because he wanted to win another world championship. He believes that LGD are set up to be able to do that this year. So far, MaRin, I disagree with you.
Yep.
But, you know, I professionally respect your opinion.
Yeah. He's entitled to it, most definitely. I think it's I'm not sure whether the outcome's going to be there. But still very, very early days. Been 3 games lost thus far. That's 1 week. Still a whole lot of League of Legends to come.
1 of 10.
Yep.
1 of 10 of the first split.
Exactly. Not to mention some form of international tournament that I believe comes after that for the next split in World. So look, there is a lot of time, MaRin, so you can prove yourself, but we'll see, because at the moment, LGD in control, but before that, looking pretty grim.
MaRin needs to be careful now. That's an aggressive shift forward. Teleport available on both top laners.
Rapid Fire Cannon actually completed here on Imp. We do have the Mana Immune done for Martin, but doesn't have his Iceborne Gauntlet yet. The kiting power of this Ezreal not going to be quite available. True Shot Barrage coming through just to try and, as mentioned before, just deal with this minion wave.
And Wayless is actually starting to just farm everything in his sight. You saw him take the 3 little raptors, leaves a big one for the Raptor Sense. It's not even because he doesn't want the farm, it's because Raptor Sense is way more important now.
Yep. The
green wards aren't there. You need to be able to get rid of the Tracker's Knife's wards as efficiently as possible. But he's been going to Wolves, he's been going to the Rift Scuttler even on the bottom side of the map. He took Dragon with the help of his team. This guy just wants to go into hardcore farming mode. And you can see it was the Abyssal picked up. Now going for most likely that Archangel Scepter. As soon as he gets the shield online, he's surprisingly tanky against tanks damage.
Yeah, that Seraph's Embrace is going to do a whole lot of work for him. The Equinox is already completed here as well for PYL. So he moves towards his next bevy of items. Swiftness Boots there with the Distortion Enchantment. Going to mean that he's going to be flash headbutt polving as much as he likes. By as much as he likes, I just mean a little bit more than normal. Imp, though, is able to hold on at least.
Yeah, very patient play there by Imp. Of course, Rocket Jump does get cancelled, so waited for Ella to throw that one out.
Well, Ella and Martin able to at least push this one up. They do have a little bit of health left on this turret before they take that one down. And wave clear a little bit too easy for Imp. Oh, PWL going for the, I believe, pole flash. Yeah, but didn't quite get it. A little bit sad. Would have been a cool play, though.
It is a very nice play. Leaves absolutely no room for counterplay, by the way. That is instant if you're able to pull it off. But instead, BYL, a little bit of a fat finger. And as I said, Wayless, he just wants to farm.
Aw, those puppies will get to be farmed again this time around. Also discovering that these minions were going to take his other minions. He can't have that. LGD going to be able to take at least this Rift Herald as well. So MaRin going to pick that one up. And as far as pushing power is concerned, Morgana with the Rift Herald, pretty strong in that department.
But needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught out here. You can see the Wolf Spirit is available, and he must know that means that there is a Rek'Sai on the bottom part of the jungle. No one here to help him right now, so probably should get the heck out of dodge. Although he's reasonably strong. 19 minutes into the game, that's a lane swapped on Morgana that has the same amount of CS as everyone else on the map.
Pretty much. Flandre as well sitting 50 CS behind. If we're going to compare them. MaRin as well having that Rod of Ages, 3, 2, and 3. So he's had a fair bit of money, not to mention just the all of the CS that he's managed to accrue. That's 2 items. He's more than happy to scale from this point on.
Ooh, Imp goes for the satchel and takes a Q to the face.
Another ultimate.
Yeah, it's relatively low cooldown.
Yeah, Martin having a little bit of respect here though. Imp goes down to about half health. One thing that's really deceptive now is the fact that since you build the stacks on your explosive shot so quickly with Tristana, it's got a heck of a lot of burst damage.
Yeah, it certainly does, especially if it jumps on you when you have it on. So
Yeah.
see if he's able to make that work, although now, finally, bottom lane turret is well and truly under siege. Imp cancels her back. Going to pick up some more farm for himself. has actually fallen quite far behind. Actually, only 10 CS. I lied. Ignore me.
Yeah, not too bad. Ezeziel going to find his way back into his jungle towards the top side. Baron now available, but probably not going to be attempted. As we have 5,000 gold, the lead for LGD. Trying to find their way back into this series. They, of course, need to win back-to-back games from this point on if they want to take this best of 3 to grab the 1 point that is up for grabs. Snake only need to win this game in order to take the point and send LGD home with nothing.
So you can see LGD this time, much more of a good fight. Being put up. Have taken all the outers, so the game has slowed a little bit. As top laners swap into bottom lane, Baron might actually be a little bit more of a priority than we think, Atlas. It's been a while since we've seen a Cassiopeia in a game.
That's
but
true.
If my memory serves me correctly, does it quite quickly.
She does damage very, very quickly, Spawn. That is entirely correct.
MaRin looking for Flandre on the bottom side of the map. Here he goes.
They're going to find him. There's the Frost Queen's claim. Flandre unable to move anywhere. PYL's around. The ultimate comes out. Flandre doing his very best to try and stay alive. He's going to do so for a while, but Amy's going to lock that one down. Tank finds his way in, though. Amy in trouble. He's going to try and get out. Tank just going to use that E in order to get a bit more damage and lock down that kill.
In the end, Snake back away. I thought they were actually going to go to face check that brush. Cassiopeia was waiting very patiently. Teleport actually burnt top lane, and MaRin gets cancelled. That is so greedy out of LGD.
Really sloppy as well. MaRin, sorry, obviously.
Now he's cut off.
Yeah, Martin's going to find his way over there. MaRin does have his flash. He may have to use it here as well. Just destroyed. The ultimate comes out from Tank, and that's enough.
That is... I'm going to... Wow. Unforgivable. Not burning the flash when he has to. Cheats through the jungle when the rest of his team's backed off. Teleports in full vision of the enemy team. That is a commodity of errors.
A comedy of errors, one could say. Pretty ridiculous, and that's going to give Snake an opportunity to go towards this dragon. LGD doing okay as far as picking that objective up over and over again, but extra 6% stats is going to help out this Snake lineup. Tank going to go back, doesn't have a whole lot of mana.
That would have also been a third dragon at 22 minutes, which is fairly high. Instead, they start off the Baron without their top laner, who doesn't have teleport, and Amy has just got chunked to half health. So turns out that wasn't the best call.
Yep, that's a struggle. Of course, Flandre does have his teleport available. Tanks is now on cooldown as well as MaRin. Synced up just a little bit there. Of course, we do have the Mura Mana Transform for Martin. He's got himself cheeky little Vampiric Scepter, probably going towards that Blade of the Ruined King for even more card ability.
Has to be.
Yeah.
QSS. Merc Scimitar has to be the purchase there.
Yeah,
Morgana, as well as a Cassiopeia. He would be a very brave man to build a Blade of the Ruined King third item against this team.
Have you seen Martin play? Yeah, so it probably will be a Mercurial Scimitar. MaRin just going to clear out this minion wave sheepishly after that last series of events. Now going towards the Zhonya's Hourglass. Going to be a very important item for this Morgana if they want to use it to do any sort of initiation.
See, I used to do this all the time with MaRin as well, and I gave up. Because he builds death caps in situations where death caps shouldn't be there.
Ah, right.
So I'm hoping it is a Zhonya's. I'm with you, Atlas, on this one. It would definitely be a good item pickup, but...
I'll put him in the Darien pile.
Yeah.
You know, just players that you just never want to predict on.
Yeah. Because
then they'll build Morellan, Omicron, and Sivana. Still frustrating stuff. 5-7 though is the score at the moment as Snake have found their way slightly back.
Didn't you build Manamune on Aatrox as well?
You did do that. I think it might have even been worse. I think it may have been a Seraph's Embrace or an Archangel's Staff. But you can't deny it was entertaining. Though continuing to farm this one out, LGD most definitely still ahead this game. 5,000 gold, approximately the lead in their favor, but it's been stagnant for quite some time. About 10 minutes that it's been about that much of a lead. Amy going to be able to clear out all of the vision around this Baron, but Rift Scuttler still there, providing Snake with some idea of what's going on.
MaRin about to have his teleport back available, so has maybe made up for the little bit of a error. Still 2 levels above Flandre, and you can see that they want to try and pressure this bottom side of the map.
ZZR not going to get tagged by that Sonic Wave. He tries to take that ward, almost gets it there as well, as Preyseek is going to find him. Flandre is still going to go back, actually cancels it here, noticing that LGD are on the bottom side of the map. PY are going to discover him. Imp going to clear out some vision. Oh man, everyone's just dancing around each other's spawn.
Yeah, they certainly are. They secure some more farm on the bottom side of the map. That's now out to a 70 CS lead for the Morgana. It's going to be nearly 3 levels as well, looking at the experience.
It's really quite silly. Andre going to be tested. We mentioned his ability to play low econ. Well, this is some low econ in comparison to his lane opponent. But I guess it's generally in a situation where both top laners.
And it was the Zhonya's Hourglass, so
thank goodness.
LGD fans everywhere
rejoice.
Breathe a sigh of relief. Still haven't correctly swept out this area. You see they're putting a lot of onus on the Baron. Now that teleport's back available, probably a more realistic goal.
Well, Dark Binding going to be thrown out for MaRin just to try and trap anyone who was trying to back.
4,000 gold up. Wow, that's not low econ. That's digging a hole.
It's ridiculous. He's the richest man on the map, Spawn. Definitely capable right now. And only going to get richer and richer by the looks of things. LGD are going to start off this Baron one more time.
They're
still available.
No, they're still in vision of the ward. Imp was on top of it. Scrying Orb comes out now. Imp very low. Amy very low. Everyone coming in. This is bad news for LGD.
Yeah, the claw comes down. The kick immediately. True Shot Barrage is there, but they do manage to secure the Baron. Tank now finds himself in an uncomfortable position, but Flandre, he's going to find his way in. LGD are doing the very best to get out. Everyone over the wall. It's only Wayless that's going to get taken off at this point. Over the side. Oh, Zhonya's used interestingly there by Tank. Confused me a lot. But MaRin now just trying to walk away.
Wow.
Flashes forward. There's the Zhonyas as well. Everyone's melting. Across the wall is him. Jumps on top. Double kill already. ZZR. He's going to get Goomba stomped. Another couple of autos from Imp, and he locks down the triple kill. Flandre himself is running away. But LGD turned it around beautifully, and they've now got a Baron.
And this is why we were excited to see LGD when they picked up MaRin. That is the combination we were waiting for. MaRin goes in aggressively. Imp cleans up. And LGD are going to break the base.
Yeah, looking so good while they do it as well. Tank, he does have a bit of wave clear as Flandre is trying his very best just to make people... Oh my goodness, the ultimate's down here from Tank as well. He's trying his very best to get out. Going to do so with the flash. Amy kicks him in the head, and that's going to cause his death. And LGD, after a decent try there from Snake, are going to now be able to break the base, most definitely.
Yeah, but maybe, just maybe, some of the death counters will come in. Martin is back up in 2 seconds. The chase is very real between a Blue Ezreal and a Trundle. Instead, the back pinks come out. Everyone will retreat. Maybe grab a Dragon on the way out for their trouble.
And the red buff.
And 5-0 on 1 now. Let's take another look at this. So it all starts actually with Wayless's ulti because it just stopped the team for enough. You see, the black, he was worried about the pull. And they knew as soon as Alessandra wasn't there, MaRin just flashes straight back in when he hits Martin with that bind.
Everyone's on the pull as well as the ultimate. That's ridiculous.
Great headbutt pole out of PYL. Credit to that man as well. But realistically, that's just brave shot calling. And it paid off so well.
Well, third Dragon gets picked up off the back of it as well. So Baron and Dragon for LGD, and they've taken the inhibitor in the mid lane. That has scored them a 10,000 gold lead.
And it was Blade of the Ruined King. All of a sudden, Martin looks at that last team fight. He's like, what would have been if I had a QSS and I could have got rid of that first binding?
Yeah. Well, not sure, Spawn, but I think it probably would have been a good idea. Instead, he's decided to go for a Last Whisper.
Anyone knows the importance of that item. They used to run QSS on Crystal and double Mikhails.
Yeah, Mikhails, yeah.
So Snake, you should know, very good third item right now.
It's a very good everyone item. Just always build that item. Even more Siege, but look at Imp. He's just so huge right now. He's got the Bloodthirster, sorry, so even has that little bit of extra shield. The lifesteal there available. This inhibitor turret just did not last. Amy now playing so far up, but MaRin, he's the one that you got to worry about. Black Shield's still available as well to go on anyone, and this is an AP Morgana. She's got a heck of a lot of use for that Black Shield. Dark Binding thrown out casually. As Imp's just continuing to do more damage, but that's an inhibitor for free. Baron's worn off.
But still good presence around the map. They're going to rotate, try and cut off this minion wave, see if they can grab another one. A Luden's Echo picked up for Wayless. Interesting.
A lot of damage.
Decision. Tank, need to be careful, mate.
Yeah. Nice Zonyas, stops the headbutt pole. True Shot Barrage not going to find anyone as the Frozen Tomb comes out onto Tank himself. Oh my goodness, Wayless flashing forward with the ultimate. So much damage from LGD. Imp flashing forward one more time. This is the guy we're expecting here in the LPL for this split. Dancing forward, hasn't died yet. Flandre has to be careful, has to headbutt a minion out of the way. And Imp is now taking down base turrets. This Tristana is massive at this stage of the game. And LGD now, they're going to storm through. We're going through a game number 3. LGD have found out exactly what to do. POL flash headbutt pole. ZZR gets thrown back into the team, but he's still pretty tanky, guys. You have to be a little bit careful there. But Nexus turret number 2 falls down. Nexus to follow. And we are going to game number 3. LGD taking down Snake in the second game after what was an abysmal showing first up. We have to say it.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't. You have to say, from the start of this game, LGD look a much better place. They responded to the lane swap in a much better fashion, sent all 3 members top lane. Went a little bit of topsy-turvy from there because Wayless wasn't really respecting Tank in the mid lane, but that secured them so much farm on MaRin. Flandre had to burn the teleport, wasn't able to CS to the same degree because he's very melee.
Yeah.
And in the end, that was really what the key to victory was. MaRin just continued to build up this CS lead. Maybe that's a thing that Morgana does better than Yorick.
I was going to say, I'd written it down on my sheet of paper. I should have just played Yorick just so that I know exactly what to say at the end of the game. But LGD surprising us. This team comp that a little bit unorthodox originally is what we thought, but in the end played fantastically well. And look, it's all about MaRin, all about that flashback in, soul shackles on every single person. Just obliterating a whole group on his own.
And the follow-up that came out, Imp, no hesitation, over the wall, jumped in. Martin, man, you really have to be able to pick up that QSS. Honestly, that is a very small thing. But when you get bound up inside a group of 4 people and there's no way you can get out, you saw just how much devastation came across from that point. So, you know, Snake, they still did some things well. They were still able to get farm onto their primary carries. Tank in the mid lane still looks really good. He got caught out at the end there, but the game was already pretty much over. Yeah,
well, the early game that they played, I mean, that first gank on Wayless was fantastic, and then soloing out MaRin in the top lane, of course, not soloing, singling him out in the top lane with 4 people, getting that dive to work quite nicely. Everything seemed to be working there for Snake, but then...
Bottom lane turret dive. You know, they tried it one too many times. This time, MaRin played it perfectly, and that's always the danger when you dive world-class players.
With black shields.
We used to say it with Go going in the top lane. Like, just don't dive the man. Just, like, leave him alone. Let him farm in peace. I'm going to say it about MaRin. Like, once, you got away with it. You built a lead off it, in fact. Don't dive him an extra 2 times to see if you can make it work.
Yeah, it's like poking the bear, guys. Just you don't poke the bear. That's the thing. So MaRin, in this case, is in fact the bear. But of course, we do now have the deciding game in LGD. If they can play that style of League of Legends one more time, make it work, then things are looking great. But is this sort of team comp that they've built up for themselves, is that sort of like a one-trick type move, or have they got heaps more?
I think the team comp's fine. Like, honestly, it was how they played the early game. The fact that they were able to secure the solo farm, the solo experience, and then they use that to push down turrets. So I like the Tristana in that situation. I like the fact that this time they actually committed to not going for the weird lane swap. They were just like, straight away, send him there level 1. PYL was there before anyone else was, like sitting on the back of the ward. Amy did 3 camps on the top of his jungle, ran straight away top lane. Yeah. They had every single person top that they needed to. And when you've got an Alistar, you've got a Morgana, that becomes an undivable lane. Pulverized Black Shield, just not a good combo to go in on.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. And look, it worked out fantastically well. If only they had learned it a little bit earlier than this, but finally they have, and we'll see whether they can continue to make it work as we go into the next game. And of course, the next game's coming up as well. I mean, this is a very important one for them to win because we put Snake relatively high up in these standings as far as predictions are concerned. They always sort of stick around the upper side of the middle. But this is the beautiful team fight here as Imp just goes Goomba stomping on everyone. ZZR going to fall down as well, and the triple kill comes in, and now, I mean, Tank, there's not a lot you can do. He did get caught out, like you said. It's just really nice play from LGD.
Yeah, it actually wasn't that horrible from Tank. He got his ultimate off on 2 people, got like 3 people available. It was just that there was too little, too late. And you can see Imp just so aggressive running into the base. For me, very good in that game.
Yeah, definitely played fantastically well, and we'll have to see whether they can have a repeat performance of that one as we move on to game number 3.
Yeah, and you know, you have to look at what Snake do to adapt now. Poppy top lane didn't work, was forced off too much farm. Lane swap didn't work this time because of the good response. Do they just go back to standard lanes and see if Flandre can do to MaRin what he did in game 1?
Yeah, exactly right. And is it going to be the Poppy that he's going to choose? Maybe he's going to choose a different champion here. Of course, Poppy probably wasn't the problem. It's just managing to get the farm onto him and have him be that force. But we'll see whether he can. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a short break. When we get back, the deciding game between Snake and LGD.